Before you try to tell someone who you are, make sure you know. Because if you've never sat with your own thoughts, your words won't hold weight. If you've never asked yourself what you truly need, you'll keep expecting people to figure it out for you. Communication isn't just about talking, it's about knowing. And you can't express what you've never explored. Let me tell you a story. She went on a date a few months back. The vibe was cool, conversation flowed. They talked music, childhood, favorite meals. Everything felt easy. Then midway through, he leaned in and said, "Can I ask you something deeper?" She nodded. He looked at her and asked, "When's the last time you sat in silence and really listened to yourself?" She hesitated, tried to laugh it off, but from the life of her, she couldn't think of a single time. There was always noise, always movement, always something else to tend to. Then came the second question. If I stripped away everything you do, your job, your titles, your image, who's left? She got quiet. Her mind searched for something solid, but it kept landing in places she didn't recognize. And then he asked, "Do you know what you truly want?" That one hit different, like someone knocked on a door she didn't even know was there. They finished their meal, shared a soft laugh, and agreed to meet again in a few weeks. But those questions, they followed her home. That night she pulled out her journal, wrote them all down, and sat in a silence. Each day after, she carved out space, 10 minutes, no distractions, just her and her thoughts. She wrote about her fears, her habits, her needs. She unpacked who she had become and whether that version of her was ever truly who she was. 3 weeks later, they met again. They were eating dinner, laughing, cracking jokes, when the questions came back up again. He looked at her and said, "Have you thought about the questions I asked last time?" She smiled, and this time she answered. "You asked when was the last time I sat in silence. Now I do it every day. Not because I'm trying to be deep, but because I'm tired of being distracted from myself. You asked who I'd be without the things I do, and I realized I'm not what I accomplish. I'm not how much I give to others. I'm not how well I pretend to be okay. I'm who I am when I'm honest." And for once, I actually like her. And the last question, what do I truly want? I want a relationship where I'm not negotiating my worth, where my presence isn't muted, where I don't have to shrink just to be accepted. And the most important one, I want a life I don't have to escape from. He sat still, looked at her with something deeper than attraction. Then he leaned in and said, "Most people go their whole life without ever meeting themselves. And I've spent most of mine trying to understand people who couldn't even explain who they were. But tonight was the first time I felt like I was actually meeting someone. Because now I know. You can't expect someone to get to know you if you've never taken the time to know yourself." This is the quote room, where words wake minds. Some things don't need a reaction, just reflection. Just a few thoughts I had on my mind.